Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
Today we will speak about the higher self.
Yes, we made a video 2 videos ago about the Kundalini that she plays against us for our own good. Now it's about the higher self.
That was also a request from all of you because there's not that much. Speaking about twin flames and higher self, we will clarify something at the end as well. But I think you have to speak a little bit more here because you have much more experience with it. I also had some really cool experiences. Very, very cool. And they make me explode when I remember them because they are super amazing. It's always like this. When you have an experience with the higher self, it's always amazing. It boosts your dopamine like crazy.
Well, I might have more frequent experiences, but because it is more frequent, I'm already used to it. And when you have experience, it's like, yay, so nice, and it's a good moment. Just like me with the Kundalini, it's not so frequent, but when it comes, I'm like, whoa, I missed you. Where have you been?
Exactly. Now, when you're with your twin flame, for sure you're gonna have even more clear messages from your higher self. We always have connection with the higher self. We always do. You can take it this way. It's almost like the higher self is the wisdom that guides you. The wisdom within you, because the higher self is always with you. And this wisdom is always with you. This is the deep knowledge about everything that we have. Coming from the higher astral, and this is really our connection with the divine in the most spiritual way, because the connection with the divine can have two ways as well, and this is the spiritual way of connecting with the divine.
The video we spoke about previous
about the Kundalini.
No. The one that we didn't publish, but it will be published.
Okay.
Because this one comes after. So the previous video we spoke about recognizing instead of learning. We are not learning anything here on Earth. Why I'm saying this? Mm-hmm. I'm saying this because, sorry about my language, but we are all stupid here. We are all stupid. We choose to be stupid.
We come to forget.
There's some people that come already knowing, but they don't know everything. They know only the previous lifetime. That's it. Or if they know everything,
or just a part of a certain knowledge, something.
If they know everything, it's gonna be one in the millennium. It's gonna be like a Buddha. Only once in the millennium.
It cannot exist. I'll tell you why. Because the physical body and the brain, the way they are structured to exist here on Earth, they cannot withhold all this information.
But that's why
it's impossible.
You become a different being. You don't become human anymore. It's something supernatural.
You come out of the world.
Yes.
You cannot stay in this physical body with all this knowledge. It's just that the pyramid. Imagine like this: to put a new software on an old computer.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
No.
No matter how much you try to upgrade it, there's a limit.
So the higher self is technically you in the most intelligent way possible. You know everything pretty much. You know the future, you know the past, and you know the present. Even better than now. What you know about the present is nothing compared to what the higher self knows about the present, because the present of the higher self is super vast. It goes beyond everything. It's 3D, 4D, 5D, and so on. And you're not in the 3D here on Earth. You are in the 2D, two-dimensional world. Everything is two-dimension. If it was third dimension, you would see people on the back, like their bones and blood and the back of their heads. Like you're looking at me in the front, but you cannot see the back. That's because you are in the 2D dimensional. And what we speak about the 5D is actually the 4D.
The eye perceives 2D.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
But the brain can perceive 3D because when we are looking at
we are adding perception
nature,
into it.
Yes, for example, we see a 2D perspective, but our brain triggers our imagination and we imagine what is behind. We are
exactly.
It, but we are imagining it.
We are not seeing, but because we have experience of seeing other shapes of the same object or the same person, we can dictate, okay, it's going to be pretty much like this. We can expect. And expectation most of the times causes a person to fail because things change. The world changes. Nature keeps on moving. And many people, that's how they behave. They expect something, and most of the times it doesn't come true because things change. And it's better just to be in the present and accept that we are in a 2D dimension and move on like this. So with the higher self, it's like this. If you are, first of all, if whatever I am saying, it's very familiar and you're very comfortable with it, it's pretty much is saying that you are already a person who is very connected to the higher self. But otherwise, if it was true for the previous other video we spoke about the Kundalini, then maybe you are a person who is more connected to the Kundalini. You can be connected to both.
Yes,
there's no limitations. We are not saying you're going to be
connected to both, but we choose to hear one of them better.
Yeah, it depends on how we
sometimes it's out of curiosity. For example, if we know better the one, we are curious to get to know the other. Now, I want to clarify something because it's like, why are we speaking about two separate entities, Kundalini and higher self, as the divine is one? Well, I'll ask this question then, why are we speaking about twin flames at all? Right? It's the two polarities in two separate bodies, so it's exactly the same concept.
And we always use the terms divine feminine, divine masculine. We should not even say this. We should just say twin flames only if we want to be one.
Or just the universe or whatever.
Look, you have to understand something. On Earth, we always have questions. We don't know things. We are confused. And because of this, we have to use language that sounds like separation, but it's not. It's like going back to school. You have to start from scratch, learning from 0 to 9, the A to Z. You have to know what is black, what is white. The same thing in here, but it's just a spiritual talk. So remember this.
I think it's worth it also to make a totally separate video about duality and twin flames.
We will speak about that.
And to go a little bit deeper there. It's very interesting.
And also for us to go back on these videos and watch them and remember that we had this idea.
I'll write it down as soon as we finish because it really is
duality.
Extremely interesting.
Because we also said another topic for the previous.
Yeah. Now, Kundalini, she really wants to make us warriors, to make us stronger here. And that's what the purpose of Kundalini is always. And to make us pure, because we already spoke about the ethics that she wants to pull out of us, that we all have them inside of us. They're in our hearts. But sometimes we choose not to follow this natural ethics that we all belong to. And we do things that we are sorry for afterwards. As the higher self is almost like a guardian angel above us, and we experience the interference of the higher self, I would say more rare in our twin flame connection, but it comes in the hardest moments.
Yes, and it's almost like it was about time, like ping,
Yes. So it's like the higher self always, the most common message of the higher self is like, follow the love, especially within the twin flame frame. Follow the love, do the things with your heart, and everything is gonna come to you, whatever you need. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to go crazy about how the matrix will treat you or whatever. And I've seen it many times in my dreams, and Andre also in his dreams and visions, this is the most common message that comes to us. Like, he is protecting us and he is guiding us.
The dreams I had,
to trust.
they are mind-blowing. The dreams I had a dream within a dream within a dream, and one of them was very powerful. I mean, they're all powerful, but he was there, the higher self. I could see him with my own eyes, like how amazing its presence is, not just for us, but for every single human being. And so undenying the power of the higher self is, if it's removed from the equation, we are all lost souls. We are immediately attacked. That's it. We cannot even defend ourselves because we lack the love and the knowledge. And the higher self has all this, has all the knowledge and has all the love. And that's why higher self is telling us to do the same thing, to learn more, not to be so naive. Even though it sounds like we have to be saints when we speak about the higher self, it's not true, because even the higher self is out there protecting you all the times with whatever it takes. In my dream, it looked like he was throwing arrows on animals, which means in the spiritual world there's all kinds of demons and all kinds of weird things and entities, and these were the targets. So the higher self is not going to have pity for anything as long as protection is key, protection and love. And these entities, they don't have any love. They don't even know what love is. They're far away from all this. They don't have emotions, nothing. So just for you to understand how powerful the higher self is and how needed. For example, I understood something. It's very interesting. If I am focusing on, for example, delivering information, like we are doing now in this video, and helping people, I feel the presence of the higher self in a specific way, like it's on my shoulder somehow, and it's just observing, okay, if everything is going correctly, meaning like to do what we are supposed to do. We all know what we have to do. But if I focus more on myself, it means I'm gonna be more on the survival, because if I'm focusing on myself, I want to take care of myself, and taking care of the self means also because no one else is doing for us. So technically this is a little bit already on the survival. Even if we are relaxed, it will come, the higher self, more to you with a very powerful impact, just because you're focusing on yourself. As soon as you focus on others, he backs off. That's what I have been realizing. But he stays either on my back or on my shoulders, and I can feel the presence is there. It's very interesting. And for example, one of them, I was only focused on myself. I barely knew you. Maybe we were just speaking on
messaging.
On Messenger. We were maybe sending some voice messages, but not like very much.
No. Just mostly you.
We needed 2 slaps.
I
don't know why yeah. And the higher self was super powerful in my life. First of all, my family was not okay. I mean, it's not okay since day one. But I mean, I'm not saying that I am better than them. I'm just saying that I wish things would be a little bit more smooth. But anyways, and the higher self was so much in my life that I cannot describe in human words how happy I am for its impact in my life and its experience. I was even going to write a book for you to imagine how amazing all this has been going. And I cannot live a life and even imagine a person not seeking the higher self or getting help. It's horrible. It's probably one of the worst nightmares ever. Like, I think I have always had help, but I just didn't know what it was.
I think the higher self doesn't really care at all whether we believe in him or not. He's always there for us. And
he doesn't care. No.
Because the love there is so pure. It's very innocent. It's like a child's love. I myself almost died 4 times. I was at the edge of death like 4 times in my life, And it was really the higher self that brought me back. The first time I was still a child, and I still remember how I thought, that's it, I cannot breathe anymore. And the next thing I remember is I am breathing again. But I stayed without breath for a while, and it was like, wow, life is back. Like, it felt so good. And then I had a few more experiences, and the last one was, I think the last couple of them were right before I met you. And that was really to say, you really have to go this way. Like, it's enough doing what you're doing right now, because that's not the way.
For instance, when you think life is worthless and we should just go, then if this was the right thing to do, the higher self would give you the upper hand. It will help you to do that, but it doesn't. It counters you, which means we are not supposed to do that, and it's not the time. Because if it is your time to go, maybe you are an elder person watching us, because I saw we have also audience watching us with more than 65 years old. So if you are one of these, yeah, we have. If you are one of these people, then it is possible that you are reaching your time, and the higher self is going to help you to come out of here, for example. Mm-hmm. So it's not that we are obliged to stay here forever and stuff, but once our mission is done, so it is important to do what you have to do. If you force yourself to come out of Earth, it doesn't work, especially when you didn't finish your mission. Yeah. Like
so this. You just have to trust the higher self is this invisible help that comes just in the right moment. When you already almost lost hope, I'm going to give you one example. We very suddenly decided to leave Corsica, where we lived for the first time together.
Yep.
And we had our little small business together. We were selling at the market healthy supplements, foods, and things like this. And all of a sudden, we were planning to leave like 1 month later, but something changed our minds, and we decided to go earlier. And we were not prepared, neither financially, neither psychologically, nothing. And all of a sudden comes this lady the very next day after making this decision. She comes to us in the market and she says, "Hi guys, I was directed to you and I want to sell your products."
She wants to buy all our products so that she can sell.
I'm opening a bio shop, like an organic shop, and I want to sell your stuff. And we were like, well, actually we decided to go. And she's like, then I want to buy everything that you have available. So she bought all our stock that we didn't even know what to do with it. That was really a divine help. I really see it as the higher self helping us there. It helped us so much, and financially, and cleansing, like finishing with something. It was really to claim this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And that's it. Thank you very much for everything. We have a live stream in the next Saturday.
Yes, and we have a book.
GMT time.
You can buy our book.
You can buy our ebook to support us and to help yourself as well. Ciao, ciao.
And to become a member.